What is going on, everyone? Griffin here, coming at you with some VV gameplay, and today we're going to be talking about the HRM. Does the HRM need to get nerfed in Rogue Company? So let's head over and let's talk about it. So this is the HRM. I'm going to run through the stats of it and then I'll kick it back up top and we will actually talk about why I'm talking about this weapon in particular today. But for the uncommon version of the HRM 30, it does a body damage of 25, has a range of 21, mag size of 20, fire rate of 5.88, handling of 33, and a reload time of 1.9. As you move to the rare version of the weapon, it does increase the damage range from 21 up to 25, and it reduces the reticle bloom of the weapon. Whenever you get up to the epic version, the hipfire accuracy has been increased, and they increase the mag size from 20 up to 30. And then for the legendary version, it is a suppressing fire weapon, and the recoil has been reduced slightly. And as you can see here, the handling does go up from 33 to 37. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've seen a lot of people either in chat or in comments, things like that, that says that the HRM is absolutely busted. And I think that those people forget that the HRM received some very significant nerfs not too long ago, because the HRM was the meta weapon. You know, they went in there and they buffed the fire rate of it. They buffed the headshot. The headshot damage was almost double the body shot damage at the time. And it was just an absolute beast of a weapon. You know, people were running it basically like a SMG, kind of like the Knight. They were running it basically like the Knight and being very successful at running it that way. To the point where the developers did have to address it. So they dropped the fire rate of the weapon down and they reduced the headshot damage of the weapon. Now, to me, what, you know, all that they should have realistically done in being able to balance this weapon was to leave the fire rate where it was, because the fire rate was something on the HRM that has fluctuated pretty sporadically over time. It started as a slower fire weapon, and then they buffed the fire rate of it, and then people still weren't using it, so they buffed the headshot damage. They effectively wanted to make it like a two headshot, one body shot weapon, or a 3 body shot, 1 headshot. You know, you could kind of like weave in and out the different variations of being able to down people with the weapon into what they were trying to accomplish. And it got very powerful, and it took a while. I mean, the HRM got buffed, and then it took several months before it rose in popularity. And the reason why is because they went in there and they started making adjustments to the other weapons, and people are like, yeah, I don't really like the Sahara, for example. The Sahara came out and it was absolutely incredible. They went in there and made some nerfs and some changes to the Sahara, and it's fine where it's at right now. It's not a terrible weapon by any stretch, but it's nothing like it was when it first dropped. I mean, it was an absolute powerhouse when it first dropped. Same thing with the Hydra. You know, there's several assault rifles that have went through this weird, you know, retuning, readjustment period. And during all of that, there was only one weapon that they really never messed with all that often, and it was the HRM. And that's why people started gravitating towards it, because it's like, oh, this weapon shoots reasonably fast, and it does very, very high damage output, to the point where you could basically almost two-tap someone with headshots with it. You know, and then when they decided that they were going to nerf it, it's like you didn't have to nerf every aspect of the weapon. You didn't have to nerf the fire rate and the damage and the headshot damage and the mag size and all this other stuff. You didn't have to do all that, but that's the direction that they went with. So the people that are saying that the HRM is absolutely busted right now either forgot or didn't play whenever the HRM was the absolute meta weapon inside of Rogue Company. And right now, I think that it's fine where it's at. I don't think that there needs to be much adjustment to this weapon. I mean, just the inconsistency of the weapon alone merits the fact that it's in a decent place. Because like before, you know, depending on your server, depending on, you know, who you're playing against and where they're located at on the globe, it depends on how well the HRM accuracy realistically is. You know, sometimes you shoot the HRM and it's pinpoint accurate and you're able to do some very impressive things. And then other times you shoot the HRM and you're on target and they're right there in front of you and they take up 90% of your screen and it's still not hitting these people for whatever reason. So that alone, the server inaccuracy and the inaccuracy of the weapon alone, balances it out pretty consistently. If we were getting consistent shots from this weapon, and realistically from any weapon, like I think the TTK in the game is really a lot faster than it actually is because of the way that the servers work. I mean, at least that's from my perspective, and that's a whole different topic. But anyway, HRM feels really good right now. I've been using it quite a bit recently because it is something. I like those slower fire rate, heavier hitting weapons. And to me, the HRM checks all those boxes without being like a tedious weapon to use, kind of like the Hydra. You know, they nerfed the fire rate of the Hydra and they adjusted the damage and all this other stuff, and it just doesn't feel, it fires almost too slowly. And the reason why is because with the Hydra, you can get outgunned by every other semi-automatic weapon that's in the game because of how slow the fire rate for the Hydra is. And at that point, it's like, well, take away the automatic feature of the Hydra and make it a semi-automatic assault rifle and let us use it and let us have fun with that. I mean, the Bishop fires faster than the Hydra. The MXR fires faster than the Hydra. The Executioner, the Warrant, the P12. The only thing that doesn't is the revolver, right? So it's not realistically viable to run against certain team comps that are running very DMR heavy, you know, compositions on their team. But with the HRM, you're able to get in there and you're able to use the HRM the way that it's kind of intended to be used, as this heavy hitting mid to longer mid range, you know, not long range like sniper DMR territory, but it flirts that line of being just an incredible, you know, long range weapon. And you're able to do poke damage, you're able to do consistent damage output depending on how the servers are, and you're able to do very, very impressive things with this weapon. I think it's fine where it's at. Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think that the HRM needs to get some kind of nerf to the weapon? Do you think that it fires too slowly? Do you think it needs to fire a little bit slower? Do you think that the body damage and the headshot damage on it needs to be adjusted slightly? I think it's in a good shot. 25 body damage at that optimal range and the range on it is 25, so it's nothing absolutely insane. So it's a 4-tap to the body if armor's not involved and bulletproof's not involved. And I think that that's a good spot for the HRM to exist. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays at 11 p.m. Central Time and Sundays around 10 a.m. Central Time, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you are interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Growl, human, if Yankee. I don't know what that is.
Ah, damn it.
Dwarf, half elf, halfling, dragonborn, half orc.
That's real cool. I really
Gith
I
Yankee.
don't even know what that is.
Yeah, Gith Yankee is
player enslavement. They ride the astral sea atop red dragons, bringing their silver swords and psionic might to bear against any race of the Illithid menace.
yeah, they're like a war with the mind flayers, right?
Yeah.
So the Gith Yankee are like, they went to war with the Illithids, and that's how the Illithids wound up on the planet that you have D&D. Like they crashed onto it and crashed into the Underdark, and that's where the mind flayers set up at. If my lore is correct.
Don't say a yank.
Yeah, Gith Yankee is. They call him Gith,
Yankee, yeah.
like for short.
For sure it ain't Jeff.
And some races have sub races.